Hey everyone, welcome back to my place. Today I'm starting a new series. It's my storytime series and I'm so excited. As you can see in the title, this story is going to be solely focused on me and my husband and how we met and our relationship and how it all got started. Alright, so let's just get into it, y'all. I met my husband back in high school. We were, I think, sophomores or juniors. We had mutual friends and we met at our church youth group, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically church service for teenagers, and it's like Wednesday nights. But that's where I met him through like mutual friends and stuff, like I said. And at the time, I was dating someone and he was dating someone, so there wasn't like, oh, hey, I'm interested in you type of deal. It was just like we were friends, we had mutual friends type of thing. I believe like a couple years after we met, he was single and I was just in this like really rough spot in a relationship that I was in for like 4 years. It was an on and off unhealthy relationship, and I was just kind of at the point where like, okay, this is like ridiculous. I'm over the drama and over everything. I just want to be out of this relationship. And I specifically remember sitting in youth group, like just there wasn't a lot of people there. It was before youth group was starting and stuff like that. And I remember seeing Daniel walk by. By the way, my husband's name is Daniel. I don't think I mentioned that. But anyways, I remember seeing him walk by, and the first thought, this is like the stupidest, well, this is the weirdest thing. But the first thought that came to my head was he would make a good boyfriend. And I think that just goes to show how rough my relationship was that I was in. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Maybe I'll share that story in the future. Speaking of tough relationships, I do want to throw out there that if you're in a relationship that is either emotionally, physically, mentally, or even spiritually destroying you, like especially if you're not married, you really should get out of it. I will say in marriage, like, fight for your marriage. Marriage is such a sacred thing and it's not meant to be destroyed. So if you're married and you're having a really hard marriage, I would just say think of the person before yourself and do everything you can to meet their needs, and I can almost guarantee that they'll change and start treating you the way you deserve to be treated. But when it comes to a relationship that's boyfriend-girlfriend relationship and there's not that lifetime commitment, don't stay in it. Like, if it's a relationship that is destroying you, I'm telling you, do not stay in it. You're wasting your time. You're the one hurting yourself by staying in it. It's not that person hurting you anymore. It's you hurting yourself because you're the one staying in it. I allowed this past relationship to emotionally destroy me for years, and I thought I could change this person. I thought he would do better, because he always, his words, he would always say, oh, I'll change, I'll do better. No one's gonna change. Like, they're not gonna change if they don't want to change. And words, like, sometimes words don't mean anything. A lot of people are good with just saying what you want to hear and doing, and not necessarily doing, but saying what you want to hear. And with that, you just got to be careful. You got to protect yourself, your heart, and just get out of that relationship. If it's not uplifting you, if it's not encouraging you, if it's not a positive relationship, it's not meant to be. Relationships are not supposed to be miserable. They're not supposed to be heartbreaking. They're meant to be happy and joyful and uplifting. And so with that, I just want to encourage anyone who is in a relationship that is destroying you, get out of it, move on. God has bigger and better plans, and he has someone perfect for you. Okay, so anyways, I remember thinking that. I was like, oh, he'd make a great boyfriend, and that was it. It was kind of just like a random thought. And then I don't remember like the time span, but like probably a couple weeks later, I was after youth group. This was the only time I saw him, by the way, was at youth group. Like, I didn't hang out with him normally. So it was after youth group, and I see him hanging out with a few of our mutual friends. So I go up to him and I asked him the dumbest question I think I could have asked him. And I was like, hey,
do you text? Like, really? Really, Emily? Of course.
anyways, he's like, yeah, I text all the time. And I was like, well, why don't I have your number? Yeah, I did that. I was bold. I'm bold. That's just the way I am. Well, not as much anymore, but that's how I was in high school. I was super bold and just straightforward with, like, things, especially my feelings towards someone. Yeah. Anyways, so, yeah, I got his number, and, like, I was, like, wanting to text him the next day, because I was kind of interested in him. I was kind of interested in pursuing more of a friendship, like a better friendship. We kind of weren't really, like, friends, I would say. We had mutual friends, and we saw each other now and then, and just say, hey, what's up? But we weren't friends, and so I kind of wanted to, like, take the next step with that, and become good friends with him. And I was like, oh, I want to text him. And I was like, I'm just going to wait a day because I didn't want to seem like super desperate or weird. And so I like waited a few days and then I texted him, and y'all aren't going to believe this, but the first text I don't know how I remember this, but the first text I ever sent to him was, good morning, handsome. Yeah, I know. Who does that? I was just like super flirty person naturally. All my friends, like a lot of my guy friends, were called, like I would call them honey or dear or anything, like just nice words like that. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I sent that text though. Like that's just weird. I wasn't even friends with them really. But yeah, so that's kind of how the things just got rolling. And I remember like, we didn't ever hang out still, but we were texting a little bit more. And then I remember I was hanging out with a mutual friend. His name's Steven, and we were hanging out at my house. And Daniel got off of work, and he called Steven, not knowing that Steven was with me. And he called Steven to hang out. He was like, oh, what are you doing? I'm going to hang out. And he's like, oh, I'm with Emily. You can come over, hang out with us. So he's like, okay. So Daniel came and hang out with us, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and literally, I'm going to say within like 10 to 15 minutes of Daniel getting to my house, Steven leaves. And so it was kind of like awkward. I'm sorry if the lighting keeps coming in and out. It's clouds blocking the sun. Anyways, I'm like, it was really awkward, and because we never hung out before, we weren't like super close, so it was kind of weird. But that night, I literally opened up to him like I've never opened up to anyone. I told him my whole like life story and just things that I've been dealing with this past relationship that I was technically still in, and like just really pouring my heart out to him, which is kind of weird because that's just not me. That's not really what I do. But we just like walked around my block for like hours talking, and by the end of it, he could see like how hurt and broken I was from this relationship, and he's like he was just legitimately just concerned as a friend. Like he wasn't even trying to like pursue anything. He was just being a really good friend, and he was like, you need to get out of this relationship. You know you shouldn't be in it. You know you're hurt from it. You know it's not the place that God wants you, so what are you doing? And I was like, yeah. But the thing is, I've heard that before. Like all of my friends in the past, they've got so tired of my drama from this relationship that they didn't want to talk about it anymore. If I brought this kid up, they'd be like, hey, we don't want to hear it. Like, they've told me, leave him, get away from him, like, be done. And so, yeah. Daniel was probably the first person that I actually listened to, because the next day, I'm pretty sure it was the next day, I ended up completely cutting everything with this guy and telling him, like, we're done, I'm not dealing with this. This is it. Gosh, the lighting is so bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna try to fix it really quick. Alright, I can't fix the lighting. But anyways, where was I? But yeah, so after that, Daniel and I, like, we really started to get close as friends. And we started hanging out a lot more, and just started developing feelings for each other, and it was just so fun. We would go to the beach all the time. Like, the beach, especially, was at night because we'd go after he got off work, and often he would work night shifts and be off by like 10:30. And so we would go at night to just hang out, and oh my gosh, we had so much fun. We would just chill, talk, learn more about each other. Daniel's a very intellectual person, and he loves to talk about like deep subjects that are actually like worth talking about and can like really help you be educated and stuff. I remember he was talking about like the universe and like this crazy, just I don't even remember all the details, but he was just talking the whole time, and I was just laying there staring at the stars, like listening to everything he was saying. And it was just super fun all the time. But yeah, so that's kind of how we got started. We started dating in 2011, and we dated for 2.5 years. We both went to a Bible Institute for a year, and that was really fun. It was really challenging for us, I think, in our relationship because there was a lot of rules with it. Like you can hug, you can hold hands, you can date, but you couldn't be physically dating, you know what I mean? And so it was a challenging time for us, but it was super great for us to grow spiritually and just as a couple in a spiritual manner and biblical manner. So we were there for a year, and then almost a year after we got back is when we got married. We got married in July of 2013, and yeah, we've been married for 5 years now. We have 4 kids, and our life is crazy, I must say, but it's super fun. Yeah, there's been challenges in our marriage, but not like crazy challenges, like not too difficult of challenges. Like Daniel is an amazing person. He's just very patient with things, and he does great with just communication. And he doesn't get angry, like, and when he does, he's not obvious about it. He kind of just shuts down when he's upset, or kind of just goes off on his own. Sometimes I can see his frustration, but it's generally he's just really easy to get along with. I'll put it that way. So we don't fight a lot. We don't argue a lot. We're very good with figuring things out without it becoming a huge blowout. So yeah, I don't know, like that's like our story, like how we got started. It was just such a crazy thing of how like I was in this dark place and this crazy relationship, and then he kind of just was there for me as a friend, and then it just became more, and it was just so fun. I love it. I love looking back at our memories and just thinking, wow, that's awesome. How did this happen? How am I so blessed, you know? But anyways, that's kind of all I really have to tell about the story. I don't have much more detail to go into, and I also need to go. I'm gonna go pick up my kids from school. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to make my videos a little more entertaining, with different things. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of my Storytime series. I'm going to be posting, I think, every Wednesday with stories, and then I want to be able to post on like a Friday too, but I want it to be a different kind of video. So if you have any video suggestions, maybe things that I can do with my kids, or just different kinds of sit-down videos that I could do, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, and maybe put together videos. If you haven't seen the intro video, go ahead and click the link below. That video will give you a little bit of information about me and my family. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to definitely do my best to put out content on a regular, and just hit that bell so you can get notified. Thank you.